Stop scrolling. Right now, I want you to imagine something radical. What if for just 90 days you disappeared from the noise? No distractions, no endless scrolling, no fake productivity, just you, your purpose, and absolute focus. Most people say they want change, but very few are willing to lock in, to commit, to go all in on themselves for a short period that could rewrite the next 10 years of their life. Today, I want to show you how 3 months of unstoppable focus can completely transform who you are, what you achieve, and how you live. The truth is, most people don't realize that their greatest enemy isn't lack of talent or opportunity. It's distraction. The noise of this world is stealing your destiny, one scroll, one notification, one meaningless conversation at a time. You can't build an extraordinary life while your focus is being hijacked by trivial things that don't serve your future. If you want to transform your life, you have to reclaim control of your attention. The first move to mastering your destiny is eliminating the noise before it eliminates you. That means shutting down the mental clutter that keeps you from hearing your inner voice. Turn off the constant stream of opinions, stop chasing validation, and withdraw from anything that doesn't align with your mission. You can't perform at peak state when your mind is constantly reacting to chaos. Clarity comes from silence. Focus grows in quiet. When you deliberately cut out the noise, you give yourself the rare gift of deep thought and powerful awareness. Every great breakthrough in history happened when someone stepped away from the noise of the crowd and tuned into their own truth. Most people are living in mental survival mode because they've forgotten their why. Without a powerful reason behind your actions, you lose momentum the moment life gets hard. Your why is your anchor. It keeps you steady in chaos and unstoppable when you're tired. Reconnecting with it means asking yourself the real questions. Why do I wake up every day? What do I stand for? Who am I doing this for? When your purpose is clear, discipline becomes natural. You don't need external motivation. You're pulled forward by an inner mission. Your why ignites a fire that no setback can extinguish. You begin to act from a place of vision instead of fear, intention instead of impulse. Purpose transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Without it, you drift. With it, you dominate. So take time to rediscover the reason behind your goals. Write it down, speak it, breathe it. Let it saturate your being until it shapes your decisions, your emotions, your habits. Because once you remember your why, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because your mission becomes bigger than your obstacles. Every transformation begins with one powerful decision to go all in. Most people want success, but they approach it casually. They dip their toes in the water, waiting for perfect conditions, waiting to feel ready. But here's the truth, you'll never feel ready. Growth doesn't wait for comfort. You must commit before the certainty shows up. Great lock-in isn't about testing the waters. It's about burning the ships behind you so there's no turning back. When you decide that the next 90 days will be sacred, that you'll give every ounce of focus, energy, and intensity you have, you activate a level of power you didn't know existed. Consistency becomes your superpower. When your focus is absolute, distractions fade into background noise. You stop living reactively and start building momentum. In just 3 months, the impossible starts to bend to your will. You'll discover that success doesn't come from luck or timing. It comes from the moment you decide that nothing will pull you off track. Go all in, no excuses, no hesitation. The world makes room for those who refuse to back down. And once you've locked in, you must master one of the hardest disciplines in human psychology: delayed gratification. We live in a culture obsessed with instant results, quick money, quick fame, quick fixes. But everything great requires time, patience, and persistence. You can't microwave mastery. You have to build it brick by brick, day by day, through relentless repetition. The difference between the average and the extraordinary is this: the average quit because they can't handle the delay, while the extraordinary trust the process even when nothing seems to be happening. Those silent days, the ones that test your belief, your patience, your endurance, those are the days that build your foundation. They sculpt your character and forge your strength. Every rep, every small win, every moment of resistance overcome, it compounds. The compound effect doesn't care about your feelings. It rewards your consistency. So when your mind whispers, "It's not working," remind yourself, It draws working, just not yet visible, or roots always grow before the tree breaks through the ground. The question is, can you stay faithful long enough for your harvest to show up? The truth is, you can't create transformation while surrounded by noise. The world is full of voices telling you who to be, what to do, how to live. And if you're not careful, those voices become your own. Real focus demands separation. You have to disconnect to reconnect. This is what the Great Lock-In is about, creating sacred space between you and the chaos of the world so you can hear your own truth again. Isolation isn't loneliness, it's refinement. When you step away from the crowd, you stop seeking validation and start finding direction. You begin to see where your energy has been leaking through endless scrolling, comparison, conversations that don't feed your vision. Silence reveals what distraction hides. It's in those quiet hours when no one's watching that you reconnect to your hunger, your drive, your purpose. This is where identity is rebuilt, not through applause, but through alignment. So shut off the noise, delete the distractions, take back control of your focus, because when your mind is no longer hijacked by everything around you, you become unstoppable. Your clarity becomes your weapon. And when you return to the world, you won't just blend in, you'll dominate with purpose, precision, and power. Then comes the real test, discipline. Not the kind that lasts for a day or a week, but the kind that becomes your identity. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your results. You can set goals, you can visualize success, but if you don't have the discipline to show up every day, none of it matters. Discipline isn't about motivation. It's about commitment when motivation dies. It's doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The mind will fight you. It'll give you every excuse, every reason to pause, to rest, to delay. But that's when the real growth happens. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you rewire your identity. You go from being someone who trains to someone who executes. Discipline is freedom. It's the ability to rely on yourself, to trust your word, to know that you'll do it no matter what. The Lock-In teaches you that success doesn't demand perfection. It demands consistency. The small daily victories, the unseen repetitions, the moments you say no to distraction, these are the bricks that build empires. When you master discipline, you stop waiting for the future. You start creating it. When you commit to 3 months of total focus, something powerful happens. You start to rebuild your relationship with yourself. You begin to see how often you've broken promises to your own potential. Every time you said you'd start tomorrow, every time you gave into comfort, every time you let fear win, that built a pattern. But in isolation, there's no one left to blame. You face yourself, and that's where the shift begins. You start to realize that trust is the foundation of all power. You can't lead others. You can't create success. You can't live fully until you learn to keep your own word. The moment you start doing what you said you would do, when you said you'd do it, you build integrity. That integrity becomes self-confidence. That self-confidence becomes momentum. And momentum, that's what changes lives. Because now you're not relying on external motivation. You've built internal certainty. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You stop chasing validation and start chasing growth. You stop performing for approval and start performing for mastery. When you trust yourself, the world can't shake you. You no longer need permission. You no longer need applause. You become the source of your own power. But power without perspective is dangerous. That's why the second part of this transformation is reflection. When you spend time alone, you get perspective on your life that you can't access in chaos. Most people are too busy to even think. They're reacting, not creating. But in silence, reflection sharpens your awareness. You start to see what's truly serving you and what's silently sabotaging you. You start to recognize patterns who drains your energy, what habits dull your focus, what fears are driving your choices. And in that awareness lies freedom. Reflection isn't weakness. It's strategy. It allows you to realign with what actually matters. You begin to shift from chasing more to creating meaning. The truth is, resilience isn't just about grinding harder. It's about knowing when to pause, when to reset, when to reimagine your direction. The Great Lock-In gives you the space to do that. Because when you can step back and look at your life with clarity, you stop running blindly and start moving intentionally. You stop reacting to the world and start leading your life with precision. Reflection turns confusion into clarity, and clarity turns action into impact. That's how you start winning again, from the inside out. Most people spend their lives chasing distractions disguised as opportunities. They say yes to everything because they're afraid of missing out, but in reality, they're missing themselves. The truth is, your power multiplies when you start saying no. Every no to something meaningless is a yes to something extraordinary. When you enter those 3 months of deep focus, you learn the art of disciplined rejection. You stop spreading your energy thin and start channeling it toward what truly matters. You realize that your attention is your greatest currency. Where you invest it determines your future. Every notification you ignore, every unnecessary meeting you skip, every toxic relationship